Australian crocodile hunter Steve Irwin has died during a diving expedition near Port Douglas in Australia.
Well, it's reported the environmentalist was killed after being stabbed by a stingray barb in the chest.
Be remembered for passion and enthusiasm. Conservation is my job, my life, my whole persona.
Steve Irwin, who owned and ran the Australia Zoo with his family, shot to international fame with his Crocodile Hunter television series and films.
The horrifying last moments of Steve Irwin. On September 4, 2006, the world lost a beloved icon of wildlife conservation and adventure. Steve Irwin, famously known as the Crocodile Hunter. His infectious enthusiasm for wildlife, fearless approach to dangerous animals, and dedication to education made him a global sensation. But what happened in his final moments remains one of the most shocking and tragic stories in the history of wildlife filming. Welcome to Nature's Last Call, the channel where the planet's wildest mysteries meet hard science and urgent truth. We dive deep into the chilling and heartbreaking final moments of Steve Irwin. We'll explore the circumstances that led to the fatal encounter with the stingray, the reactions of those around him, and the lasting impact this tragedy had on the conservation community and fans worldwide. Before we get started, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our upcoming videos revealing the hidden truths of nature. Now let's get started. Who was Steve Irwin? Steve Irwin was more than just a TV personality. He was a passionate conservationist, wildlife expert, and educator. Born in 1962 in Essendon, Australia, Steve grew up surrounded by animals at his parents' small reptile park, which later evolved into the world-famous Australia Zoo. From a young age, Steve's affinity for wildlife was clear. He spent countless hours learning about reptiles and other creatures under the guidance of his parents, Bob and Lynn Irwin. But it was his unique ability to connect with animals and convey their wonder to a global audience that made him famous. With his trademark khaki outfit, wide grin, and Aussie accent, Steve brought wild animals into the homes of millions through the hit TV series, The Crocodile Hunter. His charismatic approach made learning about dangerous creatures exciting, fun, and educational. But Steve's mission was always serious. Beyond entertainment, he was a tireless advocate for wildlife conservation. He believed educating people about the importance of protecting endangered species was essential to saving them. His catchphrase, "Crikey," reflected his fearless style, as he often got dangerously close to crocodiles, snakes, sharks, and more. The fateful day, September 4, 2006. Steve Irwin's final day was spent filming a documentary titled Ocean's Deadliest. The goal was to showcase the most dangerous creatures of Australia's Great Barrier Reef and raise awareness about the marine environment. On that day, Steve and his crew were at Bat Reef, a coral reef located off the coast of Queensland, Australia. The location was known for its stunning marine biodiversity, but also for its hazards. Among them, the stingray. Steve had worked with stingrays before and understood their generally peaceful nature, but also their potential for danger if provoked or startled. The stingray's primary defense is a venomous barb located on its tail, capable of delivering a fatal wound if it strikes a vital organ. Despite the risks, Steve's goal was to film the stingray up close to educate viewers about this often misunderstood creature. The encounter. How it all went wrong. According to eyewitness accounts and the film crew's testimonies, Steve was swimming near a large stingray when the tragedy unfolded. The stingray, possibly feeling threatened or startled by Steve's close presence, suddenly lashed out with its tail. The barb struck Steve directly in the chest, piercing through his heart and causing catastrophic internal injuries. The force and precision of the stingray's strike were devastating. The barb's venom and the puncture wound combined to cause rapid trauma. Crew members immediately realized the severity of the injury. Panic and chaos ensued as they tried desperately to help Steve and get him to medical assistance as fast as possible. Despite their swift response, Steve's injuries were fatal. He died at the scene before emergency services could stabilize him. witness reactions, and immediate aftermath. The sudden and tragic loss of Steve Irwin shocked everyone present. Crew members described the scene as surreal. Watching a man so full of life and passion be taken away in such a brutal manner was almost incomprehensible. Steve's wife, Terry Irwin, who was also present, later recounted the devastating moments. She shared that Steve had been his usual energetic self just moments before the attack, and it was hard to grasp what had happened so quickly. News of Steve's death spread like wildfire around the globe. Millions of fans, conservationists, and wildlife lovers mourned the loss of a man who had brought so much joy and awareness to the natural world. Tributes poured in from celebrities, politicians, and ordinary people alike, honoring his dedication and spirit. The stingray, nature's deadly weapon. Stingrays are often misunderstood creatures. While they generally avoid human contact and rarely attack, their defensive mechanism can be lethal. The barb on a stingray's tail is covered with venomous tissue, designed to incapacitate predators. When thrust with force, it can cause deep puncture wounds, intense pain, and even death if vital organs are hit. Steve Irwin's fatal injury was caused by a single precise strike to the chest, an area that left no room for survival. The incident was a rare but stark reminder that nature's beauty often comes with hidden dangers. Why did the stingray attack? Experts speculate that the stingray's strike was a defensive reaction rather than an act of aggression. Like many wild animals, stingrays rely heavily on instinct when they feel threatened or trapped. Their first response to perceived danger is often to defend themselves swiftly to avoid harm. Being wild creatures, they do not possess the ability to assess human intentions, so any sudden movements or close proximity can be misinterpreted as a threat. Steve's closeness and movements near the stingray may have startled or stressed the animal, triggering its natural defense mechanism. Stingrays have highly sensitive nerve endings called electroreceptors, which detect changes in water pressure, movement, and electrical signals. This heightened sensitivity helps them avoid predators, but also means they can react unpredictably if disturbed unexpectedly. Despite Steve Irwin's extensive experience and respectful approach toward wildlife, this tragic incident serves as a stark reminder that even experts can be caught off guard by the unpredictability of nature. No matter how knowledgeable or cautious, wild animals remain inherently unpredictable, and close encounters always carry risk. The legacy Steve Irwin left behind. Steve Irwin's death brought important attention to wildlife safety, even among experts. It highlighted how unpredictable animals can be, and the need for caution during close encounters. More importantly, it underscored the power of passion in wildlife conservation. Steve's work inspired millions to care about the natural world and take action to protect endangered species. His family continues his mission today through the Australia Zoo, which has expanded its conservation projects, wildlife rescue efforts, and educational outreach. Steve's children, Bindi and Robert Irwin, have grown up carrying his legacy forward, educating new generations about wildlife preservation. Lessons from the tragedy. The horrific loss of Steve Irwin also serves as a cautionary tale about respecting wildlife boundaries. No matter how experienced, wild animals remain unpredictable. This reality calls for constant vigilance, responsible handling, and a commitment to safety. Conservation efforts now emphasize non-intrusive methods of study and interaction to minimize risk to both humans and animals. Remembering Steve Irwin, a global icon. 15 years after his death, Steve Irwin remains a beloved figure worldwide. His infectious enthusiasm, fearless spirit, and dedication to conservation continue to inspire. He transformed how people viewed dangerous animals, not as villains, but as vital parts of our ecosystem deserving respect. Steve's story is more than tragedy. It is a powerful reminder of our connection to the natural world and the need to protect it. The emotional impact on family and fans. The loss of Steve Irwin was not only a global event, but a deeply personal tragedy for his family. Steve Irwin has spoken openly about the pain and grief, emphasizing how they found strength in continuing Steve's work.
Eventually, when they say time heals all wounds, it doesn't, but eventually it changes it and it walks next to you. And it's always there, and you have to acknowledge your grief, but it's a companion rather than an all-consuming feeling. And if we can focus on that and focus on there's some grief you never really get over, it's okay. You're gonna be okay, and your kids will be okay, and the sun will shine again. It may not shine as bright, but it'll shine again. So that's what you have to hold on to.
Steve Irwin, who was just 8 years old at the time, has since become a passionate conservationist herself, dedicating her life to animal rescue and education. Fans around the world remember Steve through his shows, documentaries, and the enduring message of love for wildlife. The continuing influence of Steve Irwin. Steve's influence extends far beyond his lifetime. His fearless approach set a new standard for wildlife programming and conservation outreach. The Australia Zoo remains a leading institution in animal care and conservation, attracting visitors who want to honor Steve's memory. His philosophy, that understanding and protecting wildlife is a shared responsibility, resonates strongly today. The horrifying last moments of Steve Irwin remind us of the wild unpredictability of nature. Even those who dedicate their lives to it can fall victim to its dangers. Yet, Steve's life and work continue to inspire millions to appreciate and protect the natural world. As we remember his story, let us honor his legacy by advocating for safer wildlife practices, supporting conservation efforts, and fostering a deeper respect for the planet's incredible creatures. If Steve Irwin's story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Help us spread awareness about wildlife safety and conservation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Nature's Last Call for more deep dives into nature's mysteries and truths.